I got a major leak in it's the Hummer H2 2004, and I suspect it's coming from the clearance lights. Um, Under here is all wet. Under the lower part here, there was there was padding in here. It was all soaking wet, and then the front here, it's wet up about 2 inches along this lower edge. And I think it's getting wet from the padding and the carpeting that was wet in this whole section here. Because when I reach further up in the up underneath here under this padding, it's dry all along this top section, but just wet along the edge here. And so I haven't tracked down the leak from the front yet. This is the front, but I have tracked it in the rear. I'll get to that a little later on. Here I'm just showing you where it's different places where it's leaking in the Hummer. And it's leaking along the edge here and then into the back door. You can see along here that there's seepage here along the edge here too, running all the way back, and running all the way back into the back hatch too. And you can see some of it along here. It wasn't too bad all along the edge here. The padding, this is the least part. That wasn't that wet. It's just a little bit. And hold on, let me get this other video. It was leaking along the edge there and up along this rear pillar. You can see the oversplash there. And then right in here in this back tray, this is the rear part of the Hummer, the rear passenger side, right? And this was filling up with water, lots of water, leaking down from the rear quarter pillar. And okay, so in this video here, this is once again, this is the right passenger side, the right rear pillar, looking up towards the roof. And I'm having water poured from the front clearance light on the passenger side, and the water's running. The Hummer's on a bit of an incline in the driveway, the front higher than the back, so the water's running down the roof rack towards the back, and this is on the inside with some of the molding removed. You can see the roof liner here, and then I'll continue the video here, and you get a closer look, and you can see that it's going to start leaking out of the hole here because water's running down on the inside right now. There, see, start coming out. It's pouring out of there. And this area right in here is that's where the rubber grommet for the wiring from the top, the clearance light, the rubber grommet for the wiring goes in this hole. So there's basically like a big hole just cut right through the chassis of the Hummer. And let me show you from the top side here. Okay, now this is the view from the top side, and I've got the reflector. This is the rear quarter of the Hummer on top of the pillar there on the roof. I have the reflector lens removed, and you can see inside here a lot of crap, debris in that. But here's your rubber grommet. You know that the wire from the light bulb runs into this rubber grommet, and then the wires out of the bottom here run into the chassis. So this thing here, this grommet, is the one that fits right in that hole. It goes right to the chassis, and you can see mine's like pretty deformed. And so that deformity has allowed water to run down the channels on top of the roof, and then just come through that reflector, and then to this grommet. Because the grommet's kind of deformed and the lips are kind of curled up, the water comes underneath and then flows right out of that hole that I just showed you, a few seconds ago, and then channels to the back into that rear plastic container there, and fills up with water and spills over the edge, goes into the carpeting. You can see right there, that's the hole from the top view that we just saw from the bottom where the water was leaking out, and that's where the rubber grommet goes in there. So it looks like that's definitely a leak for the back. The front, I'm not sure if it's leaking in the back and then flowing towards the front along that inner channel, and making the front wet, or if the front leak is coming from some other place, either from the sunroof or from that front reflector. I have the front one already siliconed, and I had the water hose on it, and it looked like it wasn't leaking. I couldn't see it leaking anywhere from the front, but I got more testing to do. But it definitely verified from the back that if that grommet is deformed in any way, that's we're going to get a big water leakage. And I'll try to update if I can track down the source of the front leak.